the things you visualize. Some people visualize losing their home. Other people visualize creating a new business. So what are you visualizing? And then the last thing is what you do, what you say or do. That's called your behavior. And so if we can think better thoughts, if we can visualize outcomes that we want rather than outcomes we don't, because fear is simply imagining bad things in the future that you don't want to have happen. So learn the skill sets, the mindsets, and the visualization exercises of the successful people. If you want to be more successful, if you want to spend more, you have to earn more. And there's another chapter called To Earn More, You Have to Learn More. In other words, the skill sets you have now are only good enough to get you what you're currently getting. And if you want more, you've got to do something different. If you want more, you have to do more.
This is my all-time favorite quote of yours. You only have control over three things in your life: the thoughts you think, the images you visualize, and the actions you take. Of all your quotes, this is my favorite quote. Can you elaborate on this?
Well, it goes back to E plus R equals O. So you have an event, then you only have three things you control in response: your thoughts, what story you tell yourself, what meaning you make of that event. And everyone makes different meanings of different events. Some people, like you've probably heard of Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, very famous speaker. And the coronavirus is coming, the pandemic's happening. A lot of people are going to lose their homes. People that own apartment buildings aren't going to be able to pay their mortgages and so forth. And he went and he said, well, I don't want to be someone that's a vulture, but at the same time, there's an opportunity here. He went to banks and got a $400 million line of credit so that he could buy up these distressed properties. So to him, this is an opportunity, not a tragedy. So to someone else who's losing their home, they see it as a tragedy rather than an opportunity. So it's the same event, it's different belief system. I was working for a company as a consultant called Remax, and they have these franchises all over the world, real estate. And right during after the 2008-2009 economic meltdown around the world, and everyone was down about 40% in their real estate sales. And I heard him say that he was up. He was making more money. So I said, come to the front of the room. I want to interview you in front of everybody. I said, you're thinking different thoughts than everybody else. He said, I am. Everyone else is thinking, oh, it's a recession. I'm going to have to lay people off. I shouldn't take as much spend as much advertising money. I'm going to lose money, etc. He said, my thought was, I do well no matter what the economy is doing, And so he had a different response to that event. And so his behavior was different. Now, the things you visualize, some people visualize losing their home. Other people visualize creating a new business. So what are you visualizing? And then the last thing is what you do, what you say or do. That's called your behavior. So those are the only three things you can control. And so if we can think better thoughts, if we can visualize outcomes that we want rather than outcomes we don't, because fear is simply imagining bad things in the future that you don't want to have happen, what my friend Zig Ziglar used to call negative goal setting. And then what you want to do is have behaviors that are going to get you the goal you want, rather than behaviors like going around complaining and blaming and drinking too much because you're trying to numb out your fear and so on and so forth. So learn the skill sets, the mindsets, and the visualization exercises of the successful people. A friend of mine just wrote a book called The Billionaire Secret, where he interviewed 21 billionaires from around the world, 17 different industries. And what he found was all of these billionaires were readers. He came up with this idea, leaders are readers, so they were constantly educating themselves. Every one of these people meditated every day, which I was surprised to find, quite frankly, and every one of them exercised vigorously every day, from the 35-year-old all the way up to this 81-year-old. And so there were other things they did too, but there are disciplines of success. Tony Robbins says success leaves clues. Leaves them in the form of a book. I noticed you got a Tony Robbins book up on the bookshelf behind you there. And so, we're putting our success secrets in these books, and they're available to you. For a $20 investment, you can find out a lot of stuff. And here are, I don't know if you're giving these away free or charging for them, sir, but the point is, all you have to do is listen and apply what you're learning, and you can change your life.
Jack, thank you so much. All you guys who are watching this, you need to understand that from what Jack said, today you're living a time where you can completely take control of your life by responding to the way you want, and you can really get your outcome. Thank you, Jack, for that. Jack, one more question. In your talks previously, you always say that people should invest in the self-education, which you're just clarifying right now. Can you tell
Yes.
our audience why self-education is very, very important, especially right now?
Well, I have a chapter in my book, The Success Rules, called "If you want to be more successful, if you want to spend more, you have to earn more." And there's another chapter called "To earn more, you have to learn more." In other words, the skill sets you have now are only good enough to get you what you're currently getting. And if you want more, you've got to do something different. If you want more, you have to do more. Maybe not work harder, but you got to work smarter. You have to have new skill sets, create new networks of friends, etc., and learn about all that. But we are in a time right now where many of us have more time. We're not commuting to work, so there's an hour or two a day that you didn't used to have. Many of us are not doing the same job we used to do, or we're able to do it quicker because we're not distracted by all the office politics and people, with the water cooler and taking hour-long lunches and so on and so forth. So we have an opportunity to learn some skills to be able to sell and monetize those skills that we didn't have before. And you can't get, the one thing you have control over is your own abilities. We're all born with certain talents, certain predilections, certain things we're attracted to, but talents are only good if you develop them. You may have a musical ear, but if you don't learn to move the fingers and practice your skills, you're never going to be good on the piano. Same is true with sales skills. This is a great time to be learning how to sell and enroll more. This is a great time to be learning how to be a coach, how to be a trainer, how to be a speaker, how to be an author. One of the things that's true is that the ability to deliver training is easier now than it was, because you don't have to go out and rent a ballroom, enroll lots of people to come there, set up a lunch schedule, do all that, have assistants enrolling everybody. You can do all that online now and do online courses. You can do one-on-one coaching. You can do group coaching. If you have those skills that can help people develop themselves, this is a fabulous thing that's possible to do right now that wasn't possible for many people even a couple of months ago. So basically, I have read over 3,000 books in my life. You can see the library, part of it behind me. Most of it's in my garage where I have more bookshelves. I've got thousands of books. My wife said, "You're gonna have to thin this out a little bit." She's worried about the mold, I think, whatever, the dust, who knows. But I've read all those books. I've taken over 600 seminars. I've probably watched 500 TED Talks. I've attended these kind of webinars and seminars and summits online continually, learning, taking notes, applying. It's one thing to learn something, it's another thing to actually apply it. So you don't want to have what I call shelf-esteem, where you've got a lot of books on the shelf, but you're not doing what's in them. You want to do that. And so if you want to be more successful, you have to become, I love Brian Tracy's quote, just to become more valuable to more people. So I could be more valuable to one client because I have more skill sets to serve them, or I could find a way to reach more clients with the advanced skill sets I have. So if I can become more valuable to more people, you know who Deepak Chopra is. His prayer every morning is, "Lord, help me be more valuable to more people." And that's how his wealth is built, because he's serving more people with more ability. So this is an important time to do that.
Thank you for that, Jack. For guys watching, and I want you guys to type self-education so that you put it in your system that you need to spend more, learn more, so that you can really achieve your goals.